Hey, Shad here with Speed Addicts, and today we're going to check out the Troy Lee Designs SE4. Fun fact, Troy started this company out of his parents' garage. He was custom painting his buddies' helmets for some extra scratch and created one of the biggest names in off-road apparel now. The company's grown quite a bit, as you can imagine, and nowadays you can see Troy's designs on anything from guitars to NASCARs. But this is their bread and butter. Off-road apparel and helmets is what they're known best for. Troy spent 3 years redesigning the SE3 to create what you see in front of me. They've added safety, ventilation, styling cues from their mountain bike line, and created a helmet that can compete with the best on the market today. So Troy Lee makes one model, the SE4 for moto, but it comes in 3 flavors. And by flavors, I mean different shell constructions. So you'll see the poly, which comes in at $250, the polycarbonate shell, and then you'll see composite, which is what this one is, $450, and for $650, you get a full carbon fiber shell. Again, the only thing that changes is the shell. All the other features we're gonna go over here in a minute stay the same. Okay, and why pay more for these different shell constructions? It all has to do with weight, or lack thereof. So polycarbonate comes in at 3 pounds, 5 ounces. The composite's a little less, 3 pounds, 3 ounces. And the carbon fiber comes in at that magic number, 3 pounds. Now, when it comes to helmets and weight, anything that approaches 3 pounds or is sub 3 pounds, you pick it up and you go, wow, this helmet is really light. So to hit that three pound number is really important, and guys that want the lightest stuff will be willing to shell out $650. Now they throw in a couple extra features for that $650 price point. You get an extra visor, and you also get a deluxe helmet bag. They've also paid to get Snell approval on the full carbon fiber. The rest of the line is DOT and ECE 2205. So let's go over some of the more of the features here. First of all, this is the composite and it's the Freedom graphic. The graphics from Troy Lee, of course, it's what they're known for. This graphic came out killer. You can see up close, there's pearl in the paint. Hand-laid graphics with nice clear coat on top, just top-notch fit and finish from where I'm sitting. The visor is adjustable, which is nice and to be expected. And then they have used plastic visor screws. Now, they tell us that's important because in an accident you want this visor to shear off. So they're not cheaping out by using those plastic screws. It's actually a safety feature. All right, so next we'll go down and we'll check out this eye port. That's one of the main things I look for on my off-road helmets. I want a big eye port, okay, and that's important for a couple of reasons. Number one is you get good periphery. So being inside this helmet, it has great peripheral view, and also as they make goggles bigger, the eye ports need to keep pace. Otherwise, this is your number one point of entry for air. So when I put this goggle in here, you want to be able to see some gaps around here so you still get some airflow. That's important, and the goggle will come back and fully seat onto your face. Also up here above the goggle, you'll see some intakes that are goggle vents actually. The helmet is forcing air in on top of your goggle and down into your goggle to keep you from fogging up, which is an awesome feature you only see on the top of the line helmets these days. Ventilation, we've got lots of ventilation up front. This helmet has 22 holes in it, and that is just crazy. So killer ventilation on the front, down low in the chin bar area. Also into the back here, you'll see 6 exhaust ports. That's important to have exhaust because that pulls the hot air off the top of your head and out the back of the helmet with a Venturi exhaust. And as we turn this helmet over and look at the bottom, we'll see a classic double D-ring chin strap with a retaining strap, which is nice. That keeps the end of your chin strap from blowing around in the wind and driving you nuts. You will also see the emergency quick release cheek pad system. If you get an accident and first responders want to remove this helmet from you carefully, they can use these to pull the cheek pads out and more easily get the helmet off your head. The other safety feature this helmet is equipped with is the eject system. Now that is sold separately, but what that does is it installs up into this helmet. The liner has made space for it, and it allows emergency responders to inflate the helmet off of your head, which is the safest way to remove the helmet in case someone's injured. And then check out this headliner. So What they've done with this headliner, which is important, is they've removed a lot of the material, and that makes it so that all the air that this helmet flows actually reaches the top of your head. So take a look at that. Removing that material, this liner still got a lot of low density foam here, which makes it comfy, but they've removed a fair bit of it so that the air can get on your head. It's also made room for that eject system if you choose to buy that and install that later. Now that I have the liner out of the way, you can see that the MIPS system, that's that yellowy green liner in there. Now what MIPS does is it helps the rotational energy in an impact. It allows your head and this liner to slide and give a little bit as it hits the ground, absorbing some of the directional energy. And it's a new thing that you're seeing in a lot of the higher end off-road helmets. Also, if you take a look in there, and from where I'm looking, I can see all these holes that are drilled in the styrofoam EPS liner and different ducts where air can move through this helmet. This is probably one of the most well-ventilated EPS systems that I've seen out there right now. Also, if you look inside of the chin bar here, it's hard to tell from where you're sitting, but this is a slightly different material. And this material is called EPP, and it's a little different than the traditional EPS styrofoam in that it rebounds. So if you were to hold this helmet by the chin bar or put it on your handlebars, it's not going to permanently compress this foam. So this is a feature that I haven't heard of before. It really shows that Troy Lee's pushing the envelope, and really they've thought of everything. So while we're talking about the chin bar and that EPP, I did notice when I tried this helmet on, it comes down nice and low. Quite a bit like more coverage than some of the other helmets I've tried on that might leave your chin hanging out. People have different preferences with that. This one feels really secure. It's got full coverage. I also noticed that it's got tons of ear room, which is nice. And inside here, they also have made speaker compartments. They have little recesses in that EPP liner, which will accept a speaker system. Not something you see on most dirt helmets. It's a common feature in a lot of street helmets, but it's cool that they've included that here. So chin coverage, room for ears. Other thing on fitments, the fitment of this helmet, it runs true to size. I usually wear an extra large in just about everything. This fit me great in an extra large, so order what you normally wear or refer to the sizing guide. The helmet comes in 3 shell sizes, and that is really important. Cheaper helmets will use 1 or 2 shell sizes a lot of times, which means a person who wears extra small is wearing the same physical helmet that someone in extra large would be wearing. And that's terrible as far as weight goes and drag and wind and all that sort of stuff. You don't want to wear more helmet than you need to. So having a 3 shell system is great. And it's also good for kids that are wearing extra small and small. They get a much smaller physical shell. And remember, when it comes to fit, if you buy your SE4 from Speed Addicts, we have the Addicted Fit Guarantee. What that means is if your SE4 doesn't fit perfect out of the box, we'll get you the right cheek pads or headliner to pop in there and custom fit the helmet at your home without it even coming back. Now, if you need a different shell size, we also have free exchanges and returns, no restocking fees, risk-free shopping here at Speed Addicts. Remember that. So final thoughts on the SE4. I think it's a killer value considering you can get in at $250 for the polycarbonate version. You get MIPS, you get all this ventilation, killer graphics for $250. It's kind of a no-brainer. And then for the guys that are hardcore enthusiasts and want the lightest stuff, the carbon goes up against anything on the market for ultra lightweight, high performance moto helmet. Thanks for watching, everybody, and ride safe.